So, Alyx, as part of his Monday night live stream where he reviews Raw and talks about some other wrestling related items, one of those news items he talked about was The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. And apparently, according to several sources, depending whether or not you believe them or you don't, Sportskeeda, Brian Alvarez, and such, apparently Rock's schedule, at least for the first quarter of 2023, is going to be cleared. And what that means is there's a potential of us getting the match at WrestleMania 39 in Los Angeles between him and Roman Reigns. Now, if that does happen, if that does happen, if that does get officially locked in, in the near future, hey, I'll tell you this. I will save up as much money as I can to go down there to Los Angeles, take family if I have to, invite family, if you will, I should say. Go down to Los Angeles, get a hotel, buy my tickets even before then to WrestleMania, even if it's in the cheap seats, just to see this match, just to see this match become a reality. But here's the issue, though. Right now, that seems to be the case with The Rock. Like, his schedule is cleared. There's nothing on the table for him. He's cleared it up, right? However, we cannot, and I think Alyx is aware of this, we cannot, underestimate, changes that may occur. I mean, look at the whole Black Adam situation right now. Everybody thought Black Adam was coming out this year, and yet it's coming out next year, and Rock has been doing some reshoots and all that. Who's to say that when Black Adam comes out, or starts, kind of getting a lot of press and everything, Rock doesn't get scheduled to go do those those presses, if you will, those interviews and all that, promoting the film. Who's to say he's not locked up at that time, not because of movies, but because of that? Or you might say, oh, well, he can still make it work. Yeah, maybe he can. But what if, during that time, they schedule so many promotional situations for him, promotional moments for him, to promote Black Adam and such, who's to say, basically, it's not going to take up a lot of time for him to help build up this match? I mean, yeah, you could give most of the build to Roman, and Roman could do what he can with it, no doubt, along with Paul Heyman's help. And you can have Rock throw in a few, via satellite interviews, promos, wherever. But still, it's like, we have to consider that right now it sounds good on paper, but we are in May of 2022, all right? The first quarter of 2023 is the beginning of January, right? And that goes into what? First quarter goes into what? May of 2023 or something like that? We have to look at the fact that what? We are May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. We are 9 months away from that first quarter. And even if you could bring in The Rock at the end of SummerSlam, or at the end of Clash at the Castle or whatever, to help build up the match, or even at the end of Survivor Series, to help build up the match, it doesn't mean it could happen. For all we know, in between now and then, Rock's schedule, although it's free right now, and that's great, it may get filled up. And like I said, not just because of, potential movies he'll be doing and all that, movie projects and all that, but it could get filled up, like I mentioned, with a lot of promotional trips across the globe to promote Black Adam. And along with those promotional trips, he could also be in discussions with other studios, mind you, to potentially star in future movies. And that could take up a lot of time. That could potentially take up a lot of time. And that could all get scheduled within the next few months. And here's the thing, too. You got to realize. Hollywood has made it clear. Hollywood and the studios that work with Rock have made it clear. His team has made it clear. I think his agent has made it clear they do not want anything to happen to Rock, period. They don't want to have him get injured. They don't want him to, take a bump on anything. Well, he's going to take a bump and all that, no doubt about it. But still, they don't want him to seriously get hurt. Because the last time he did a match, which was against John Cena, I think it was the first or second match, basically he tore something and they had to delay, finishing the filming and production of the Hercules movie he was working on. They had to delay that for a while. And after that, Rock has barely done really anything physical in the ring. He did that little short match with Eric Rowan at WrestleMania, unexpectedly, a surprise to people. He's done a few things here and there, but it's mostly been him doing all of the offense, and those that he would face taking most of the bumps. And if he does take a bump, it's just barely one, or just barely something that, knocks him down, and then he bounces back up. You see, this is the one thing we have to put into consideration, that even though his schedule is, and I was just checking something there, even though his schedule is open right now, I thought, and while I was checking, I had the flashlight on here, I didn't, thank God. But his schedule right now might be open, but that's going to all probably change. We got to realize that. And hopefully maybe he does work it out to where he's like, look, I want to do this match. At least let me do it. I don't have nothing really planned for right now. And if I do have anything upcoming, let me hold it off until I'm done. But again, that's where, the counter comes in. His team, the studios he works with will be like, no, 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 no. You see, they could probably come out and say, look, as much as you want to do this match, and we're cool with, hey, we want to see it too. We don't want to have to see you get speared so hard by your cousin, or hit so hard by your cousin, something gets, damaged, something, you get injured or something. So even if it's family he knows he could trust in Roman, in this matchup, again, don't think Hollywood, his Hollywood team, his lawyers, his agent, those studios that he works with, don't think for a second they're not going to step in and say, no, match ain't happening, it's not going to happen because we don't trust what will happen. I'll tell you, now look, I'm not saying it's not going to happen, okay? But let's be honest. Let's be honest what's going on here lately. What we've been noticing all across wrestling, okay? Let's notice what we've been noticing all across wrestling, okay? Let's take a look at AEW. The whole Satnam Singh deal. Do you think everybody wants to see Satnam Singh? No. But he debuted the way he did, despite Tony Khan, despite Tony Khan even coming out and admitting, hey, we goofed up on the debut. He debuted because they want to make good with the new bosses from Discovery. They want to make good with Kathleen Finch and David Zaslav, who are now, mostly David Zaslav, who's now basically taking control of the whole shebang. They want to make good. And since Discovery, owns Eurosports India, in India, where AEW is seen, of course they want to make good with them by having this guy featured. There's that. And there's some other things too people have noticed. Solomos even acknowledged like some of the time cuts and everything obviously being done at the request of the network, like entrances being cut for time and things. Like one of the complaints people had from Dynamite this past week was Adam Cole and Jeff Hardy's, entrances being cut because of time, and that was due to the network saying, hey, you need to move quick. You only have 2 hours. So, we've seen people that you work with, like networks and all that, step in and say, you step in and basically, make their presence known. And whether or not it's by you kind of kissing up to them by debuting a certain, individual, or basically you cutting the entrances of two of your new stars in the past, 6 months, if you will, past, August, September, October, November, December, almost the past year, I would say, January, February, March, April, May, past 10 months, even if it means cutting the entrance of two of your, new stars in the past, to your roster in the past 10 months, especially when it comes to a tournament that you've agreed to do and to honor the legacy of someone that tragically passed away, and to donate whatever the earnings are, the merchandise finances and everything to the foundation, and all that. You know, you have to basically expect or have to tolerate these kind of interferences. And going to WWE, Fox originally did not want the unification match to happen at WrestleMania Backlash, which is why it was turned into a 6-man tag. And yet when it finally did happen, reports could say that it was a last-minute decision by WWE, but we all know the truth. It wasn't a last-minute decision, because if it was a last-minute decision, they would have went through with it at WrestleMania Backlash like originally planned. That last-minute decision excuse is mainly them, kind of coming out and saying, yeah, the reason we finally decided to do it between the Usos and RK Bro is because Fox let us do it, but only on SmackDown on their network. And that's it. Because that's the truth. That is the truth. Fox finally allowed it to happen, not because WWE finally decided the last minute to make it happen. No. It's because Fox said, yes, you could do it, but it only happens on our show, on our network, and they have to be featured prominently here and nowhere else. And that's it. That's it. We all know that's the truth. So those being prime examples, should be something we have to look at when it comes to Rock, because Rock has all these Hollywood connections. He has all these people that don't want to be hurt or anything, but, when it comes to, him getting involved back with WWE, maybe in matches and all that, they don't want him to get hurt because, there's the potential of him doing some future projects in the future. So what do they do? What do you think they're going to do? What do you think they're going to do? They're probably going to step in and they say, look, they're either going to say, A, if this match does have to happen, make it a squash, make Roman get so confident at Rock that he thinks he's going to beat him, and as soon as the bell ring, just have a repeat of WrestleMania 32. Rock just hits him with a rock bottom, 1, 2, 3, shocks Roman, and that's it. And then there you go. Rock doesn't take a bump or whatever. Rock doesn't take a bump. They could say that. They could say do it that way. But the thing is, they could also come out, like I say, and basically say, no, it's not going to happen. Find something else. And they may have to. And that something else may be, hey, holding off on the Cody Rhodes potential cash-in of his Money in the Bank briefcase, if that's what they still do for that time frame. And that's it. Or, if Cody doesn't win the briefcase, and he wins the Rumble, there you go too. That might be what happens. We'll have to see. But, to me, I would love to see the match happen. Yes, the schedule being cleared up as of right now seems to make it plausible. But again, things can change. And we got to be aware of that. But let me know what your thoughts are, guys. Comment below. Live chat during the premiere where super chats and super stickers are available and open. It would be appreciated. Super thanks will be enabled after the premiere. And until next time, guys, let me know what your thoughts are. I am out.